Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let me see, type in the chat here. Let me know that you're here, that you can hear me, that you can see my screen, that we're good. Derek, what's happening? Hey, we got to have a meeting here pretty quick. Peter, good to see you, Peter. Awesome. Cool, so everybody can hear me. All right. Oh, wow, tons of comments coming in. Okay, so we're recording. Let's do the roll call really quick. I just made a post over here asking who's on the Q&A, so if you guys would come over here and please let the group know that you're live on the Q&A. And I'd like to go ahead and see who's willing to come on the call and talk for just a minute while I get things organized. So let me find my attendees over here. Why don't you go ahead and raise your hand if you have any light bulb moments this week, if you have an epiphany moment, or if you have something that you want to share. If you would go ahead and put your hand up, I'll come over here and I'll unmute you. I'd like to hear from you, Derek. We haven't heard from you in a while. I don't know if you have a mic. And Peter has his hand up. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So if you want to talk real quick while we're doing the roll call, everybody's over here. They're jumping in here and they're letting everybody know that they're live on the Q&A. So yes, please put your hand up if you want to hop on and share an experience, or you know, we've been covering a lot this week. So if there's anything that you guys want to share, please put your hand up, and I'll unmute your mic, and we'll start with Peter since he was the first one to have his hand up. Hey, Peter, how are you?
I'm excellent, thank you, Chad. How are you doing?
Good, 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 good. You ready for Vegas?
I'm so excited about Vegas. This time next week, I'll be with all you guys in Vegas, and it's going to be awesome.
Yep, we're going to hammer things out. We're going to hammer things out. So what do you think about what we've covered for the past, I don't know, past 3 weeks or so?
Well, it's got me motivated, and I spent the other day, all day recording. Unfortunately, I got your 13 tips this morning when I got out of bed, and I've made a few mistakes in what I did the other day, but I can fix that, and it's excellent advice, and I'm just going to be reviewing all of that after this call and just making more progress with my course.
Tell me, share with us, so what he's referring to is there's a video right here, guys, and I just posted this video this morning, and I listed, I think, 13 tips before you start shooting. So what were some of the mistakes that you made, Peter?
Okay, well, some of the mistakes were I didn't set my file structure up properly, so it became confusing for me. I did mention the course name on some of the videos, so that's a no-no according to you, and I understand why. I didn't shut off all my notifications, so while I was recording there were emails and Facebook posts coming through, which is a real pain, so they're the main things. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. So like this guy right here? Like that? You didn't shut down these notifications, so you got all these things popping up in your lessons and everything else, right?
That's right, yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Well, here's the thing. It's not that bad. It's not so bad. It's just that, you know, if you ever want to white label it or something else, you know, it might not stop you, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know, you guys knew everything so that you were bulletproof with whatever you were trying to do.
Yeah, those 13 points are really, really helpful. It's when I went through that this morning, it made quite a difference, and I'm actually planning on reshooting some of my stuff today so that it'll be better, you know, using the tips that you've provided.
Good. Good, 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 good. Well, sorry I was a little late on that. I covered it on the webinar the other night too, but hey, either way, I'm glad you're taking action. I'm glad you're getting it done, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in Vegas, because I don't know if we're going to have another Q&A before that.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting everyone too, and it's an awesome opportunity, and thanks so much for putting it on.
Cool. Okay, Peter, thanks for being on the Q&A.
Cheers.
All right, let's see if Derek's here. see if Derek's got a mic. I don't know if he does or not. Hold on just a minute. Derek.
I do. I'm here.
What's happening, Chief?
Hey, how you doing? It's been a bit.
Good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm coming along. I'm just waiting to get results on that MRI I had to have on Sunday.
Oh.
I did something to my hip. I have no idea what, but last week, about Wednesday, I guess, Wednesday or Thursday, I literally couldn't stand. I couldn't put any weight on my leg at all. And it was going all the way around into the groin, and it was just really bad. And so then they put me on like a metal dose pack, steroids with muscle relaxants and all kinds of crap. And so even though I was kind of in the zone, I was able to at least walk at that point. And so then Sunday they did an MRI, and I'm waiting for the results.
Sorry to hear that. It's kind of hard to keep moving.
But despite that, I got some great news for you.
Okay, let me have it.
A buddy of mine that I've been working with off and on for quite a number of years, looks like he and I are going to land Levi Strauss.
Oh,
and
really?
So, yes, and it's going to be in fact, I'm changing gears now with what I'm doing with Everlesson and Survey. We'll talk offline more about this, but the job is related to other work that I've done, which is basically doing mobility. What they're doing is they're doing a top-down audit of all of their mobility products worldwide. And our job is to basically perform the audit, then to devise their mobility strategy going forward, write all of the policies, etc., and then actually do the implementation. So it's a huge, huge project. My plan is to use Everlesson as the platform for the delivery of the policies and so on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and there's an opportunity, I think, to basically introduce the survey component and the appointment component. And, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's a really great opportunity, and there may be an opportunity for me to be able to open doors for a few more people, because it's, like I said, it's a huge project. We're going to be requiring additional feet on the street, so to speak. Anyway, just found that out today, lifted my spirits quite a bit, and so like I said, I'll talk with you, afterwards, and then as things move forward, we'll figure out a plan.
All right, keep crushing it. Let's get in contact here real soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
Okay, and we got one more, and I knew Joy was going to jump in here. She always does. Let me find her hand real quick, and then we'll get to it. Let's see if she actually meant to put her hand up. Maybe she didn't mean to put her hand up this time. Let's see. Nope, I think she's self-muted, so I think we're good. Okay. All right. So here we go, guys. A lot of exciting things happening in the world of Everlesson. You guys already know. I don't know if you were live on the webinar last night. I kind of went through and took my whole entire course immersion and just summarized just the gold nuggets for you. So you guys received a ton of information. Now, you're only going to see this in my account, but as I create individual products right now, then there's a section over here called funnels. And if I open this up, you'll kind of see this work in progress here and how and what we're doing and everything else. And I'm going to go over here, and I was pull in an existing webinar from GoToWebinar or something like that. And then my webinar confirmation page is going to be here, so you guys can kind of see what this is all looking like. So if I go and visit this one, this is just one template of many. You guys can kind of see how this is looking, how this is all starting to come about. And we're kind of changing things. I made a post in Everlesson this morning. I made a post on my wall this morning. I asked you guys, what's the best page builder out there? And the reason why is because, yes, we're going to go that direction. I wasn't going to originally, and then I said, you know what, for us to dominate, which is what I'm looking to do, we need to go that direction. So I know a lot of people mention Convertri, some other people mention Igloo, so I'm going to look at all those, find out what the best features are, and then make sure that we're better. So as you can see, if you go through here, it's a little different with this page builder here, because now you actually are going to like change the text right there on the screen. And so I'm going to have it to where no matter what, you guys can come in here and you can just like change stuff really quick. So the idea is, and this setup's not pretty yet, okay? We're just trying to get the functionality down first. So the idea is you're going to come over here and you'll fill out, you know, this information here. You'll add another secret. You'll add another secret. And rather than with you messing on the page, because that can be very, very intimidating, let me ask this question. Do you guys think it's easier to fill out information like this on a box, or is it easier to fill out information on a full-blown sales page? Which is it? Or webinar sign-up page? Yes. Easier in the box. Yes. But look, either way, if you prefer to do it in boxes like I do, I like these boxes. I like to fill out forms better than I do sales pages. But either way, you know, you don't have to fill this out. You can come right over here and you could just go ahead and whip this stuff out yourself and change out the images and everything else. But our old editor, we had it to where when you clicked here, it opened here and you would change it. Now we're starting to change things and we're going to have it to where you can just change it right here on the spot. So what I discussed this morning, and we're going to take a look at all those different you know, page builders and everything else. And I've actually had a concept for a page builder for like 3 years, and I've just never got to it. But now we have a big enough base. We're going to have a tab up here. Most people won't click this tab, but this tab is going to take you into an advanced mode, and it's there where if you want to clone this element, you can. If you want to move it around, you can. If you want to bring in new elements, you can. We'll have a full-blown page builder, and we'll have it to where we can drag this exact element wherever we want on the screen with XYZ coordinates. Okay? So that's kind of being looked at right now. We're kind of seeing what it's going to take, the resources necessary to see if maybe it's something that can be done on the side and just have, you know, gradual updates with it and everything else. Because I'm honestly not in a hurry with it. I will never use it, guys. What I will use is I will use exactly what's here, because my philosophy is throw it out there as fast as you can and start getting sales. I don't really want to mess with drag and drop or anything else. What you have to know is Sean Donahoe and I created the first drag and drop page builder back in 2010. And it was a lot different than what this stuff is today. So I've been messing with page builders for a very, very long time. And today, I just want you to give me something that works, and I want to be able to like do very minimal effort and get it out there and start running traffic to it and start making sales and start doing my webinar, because that's where my focus is. That's where I get paid. Does that make sense? So that's a big takeaway for you guys. You know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, I want the functionality, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. You want to play. You can go play. I want to get paid. Do you see the difference? You go play, I want to get paid. There's only 24 hours in a day, something like 8,640 minutes or whatever, or 86,460 minutes, whatever it is, or seconds, not minutes, seconds, right? And so I want to make sure that I'm spending each and every one of those seconds to the best of my ability. I want to be very, very efficient and productive with those seconds. Do you understand? I want to make sure that my time is well spent, right? So I don't want to play anymore. I want to be very, very focused and just focus on the things that make me the most money. Okay, so you guys are kind of seeing how this is all coming about. The pages are coming in there. The links are coming in there. We made a drastic discovery with Trello last week, and I'm going to share this with you. So you can kind of see that we're getting very, very organized with our graphics team. So just to kind of show you what the templates are going to look like this is a replay page. We'll have like 10 different broadcast rooms with our auto webinar system. What do you guys think? Are you liking how this is looking? What do you think? Like I could just kind of flip through some of these and show you what the graphics team is doing. Like they're just doing a great job. Here's what our order forms are going to start looking like, right? So you can tell that we're really, really starting to up the game with Everlesson, right? It's taken us some time. We've had to get our feet wet and figure out exactly, you know, where it is we want to go. but we've got it figured out. We've got the team together, and we've been putting together these things, and now I'm feeling very, very confident. And so we're putting together the process where we're going to be able to pretty much smoke everything that's out there, right? And so when it's all said and done, you'll have your membership, you'll have your pages, you'll have your webinar funnel live, you'll have the auto webinar funnel, you'll have your autoresponder in here, you'll have everything you need, right? Everything you need. And then the one thing that we've really been focusing on is the graphics, right? So that's the one thing, like, I love this. Like, I would use this page all day long. This thank you page right here, I would use it all day long. And so we've built the system so that we can create as many designs as we possibly can, and we're able to just have more templates than anybody else in the business. Now, it's taken us longer than other people, but we have a more solid foundation. Does that make sense? Our foundation is set up to expand. It's very, very robust. Thank you, Ray. That's the word I was looking for. And so I've showed you guys this before, but look at this. Now that we're getting everything organized here, look at all the sales pages that we've already done, guys, that are getting converted. Look at all these sales pages. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? Full-blown sales pages. I haven't even seen all these, and I'm going to explain kind of what we have going on with Trello here, because I would like to see you guys do the same thing. But these are all the sales pages that we've been doing, and most of this information comes in for you automatically, right? There's the packages if you're using packages. If you're not using packages, it'll just look like this. It's got your perceived value there. It's got your price there. So all this stuff here is being done, right? Here's confirmation pages. I kind of thought this was kind of cool. So after they place an order with you, here's your product receipt, right? Done. Check my email. Okay. So just awesome stuff here, guys. That's going to really allow us to get ahead. And what's cool is I'm not really having to do a lot with this anymore. I'm not really having to oversee this. And from what I'm seeing, my sister's not really having to oversee this either, which is a really good thing. That means the graphics team finally, after all this time, is kind of on track where we want them to be. So I haven't even seen this one right here. This one's kind of new. So you can kind of see here's a new course page, right? So we're going to have all kinds of new course pages and just all kinds of stuff. Like, we're going crazy now, as you guys can see. So here's what I want to show you. If you look here, all of these things have labels. So if I come over here, Trello's free. Okay, I recommend Trello. I wish I could give you a link, but I don't have my link. But if I come over here, let me just see if I can do this really quick. So if I come over here more, I thought there was a way to give you guys a link. I don't know how to do that, but I'll see if I can figure it out, because I get all kinds of cool stuff if I bring more people in. But if I come over here and I hover over this little pencil, what I'm able to do is I'm able to edit the labels for this pencil. So as you can see, we have like waiting for PSD, revision, hot projects, convert to HTML, approve HTML, programmers. So let me explain how this happens. Okay, I come over here and I assign a priority. And if it's really, really hot, then I label it as a hot project, right? I just come over here and I say, okay, choose hot project. Boom, now we have it, right? So the graphic artists, they come over here, they grab the hot projects, they go and they design the PSD. Like, here's one of our replay pages. Okay, so they're going to go design this PSD. So I'm going to say, hey, we need more replay pages. So they're going to knock these out because now they know the elements. And then what happens is they're going to set it for this yellow color, right? And so everything in yellow means, Chad, come in here and find out if it's good or not. So I come over here, I click this, and I look at this. I'm going to say, okay, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. But maybe I don't want this button here. So I can come over here and I can leave a comment, you know, get rid of button, okay? And then he sees the comment, and then he goes and loads a revision, okay? And then it stays yellow, right? It's going to stay yellow. So I'm going to go back over there after the revision, and if it's good, then what I do is I turn it to, let me show you something. It's a process here, guys. It's very, very advanced stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn it to green. Okay, so if I edit the label, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to turn it to green. When the graphic artists see something that's green, then what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, good, we have a final copy. We're going to go load that PSD on Dropbox, and then they're going to link the PSD to Dropbox, and then what happens is they turn it to purple. Do you see this right here, guys? They turn it to purple. Now, we have a different team that comes in here, and they go grab anything that turns to purple. They go take the PSD, they convert it to HTML, they bring it back in here, and then what they do is they're going to turn it to this blue color. So Chad looks for yellow, and he looks for blue. So if I see something yellow, I got to approve the graphics team. If I see something blue, I have to make sure that the page has been converted properly, that it's all responsive and everything else, right? If it's good, then what happens is I come over here and I turn it to this color. And then the Everlesson team comes in. They see that it's this color here. They pull it into the system, and now we have a template. Are you guys seeing the process? So now what's really cool about Trello, so you see that we have all these different cards. These are called cards. So we have priorities, webinar sign-up page, webinar confirmation pages, webinar replay pages, sales orders, sales pages, thank you pages. And once something turns to that blue color, once the team is done with it, they come over here and they're going to archive the card, and then all the files go into the archive and they're off the board. We can easily find it, but they're off the board. Okay, so you see we have all these cards here: webinar sign up, webinar confirmation, webinar replay, sales orders, sales pages, thank you pages, so opt-in pages, confirmation pages, all this stuff here. But what I can do is I can come over here to this menu and I can click on filter cards, and I can say, okay, only show me the ones that are waiting for PSD. Okay, and as you can see, there's none that are waiting for PSD. I can say, okay, show me the ones that are waiting for revision graphics. See here? So here's the work that I need to do. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, because for the past month, we've been working with you guys, trying to help you get organized and trying to help you get your project together, help you create your course. So can everybody see how this can really help you stay organized? Because whether you're using Workflowy or not, Workflowy is great for the outline. But if you really want to provide a lot of value, and if you want to pull your outline into something like Trello, and so you have like week number 1, week number 2, week number 3, week number 4, and then you have individual lessons, and then you spend some time, you research things, you bring in images, you bring in testimonials, you bring in videos. Well, what you're able to do is you're able to come over here and you're able to basically build off this card. And then once you get to the point where you're like ready to shoot the intro video or the video or whatever, you can come over here and you can go ahead and create your own label that says ready to shoot video. Do you guys understand? And so what happened was I logged into the Everlesson platform one day, and this is what happened. I saw all these labels everywhere with these names, and I knew you could put colors on them. I didn't know you could put names on them. When I saw that, I almost fell out of my chair. I won't even tell you what I said in the group. It was very, very inappropriate because I was so excited. And so I spent the whole entire day going through every Trello board I have and setting up a structure, because now I knew I had a process. And now I knew I could have multiple teams with various stages, and I knew I could get this project under control. So when Karthik's team comes in, they come over here to filter cards, and they just look at the work in progress. Do you see? That this is all they focus on. And then when I show up in the morning after my call with them, I'll come over here and I'll look at this thing that says completed, waiting on Chad. And if there's anything there, then I'll look and I'll make sure everything's good before I pass it off to you guys. Is this making sense? So you're kind of seeing the behind the scenes of what takes place with Everlesson. So if we look over here, the work in progress, I'm going to show you what we're doing here with the Wizard, the auto webinar setup, categories from Wizard. We have the add-ons, the dollar trials. We're moving the menus. Let's see, we're working with the PSD people. Okay, all that's good. And then I've already been showing you guys the add-ons that's going to happen. Like, you guys don't have to worry about it. You have everything, but the new members are going to be paying for additional add-ons, which is good news for you because it puts you in a really good position where you can monetize. And then everything here, the webinar funnel setup, you can kind of see that this is a new layout. This is what it looks like, right? So this is how it's going to look, 2 sections. I would rather fill this out than a page, but you know, it's completely up to you guys. And the page is going to be automatically made for you. Here's like the new category feature inside the wizard. We'll cover that here in a minute. And then also, we have the sales page funnel. So you're going to fill this information out right here. And a lot of this stuff we'll be able to pull in from your webinar funnel. But then we're going to go and create your sales page for you. Okay? So a lot of this stuff is already being set up right now as we speak. And then next, we're going to take everything that we've done for the webinar funnel, and we're going to have this complete auto webinar funnel. So everything that you guys see in all the other platforms, you're going to be able to do inside of Everlesson. Make sense? Let's see, will agency be able to add or remove those add-ons? So as an agency holder, you'll have all those add-ons. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'll have to think about that, Jeff. Give me some time. I haven't exactly figured that out. The other thing that I'm going to queue up here very, very soon, guys, is this right here. I started it a while ago, and then we broke in. But you can see this right here, and this is why it's good. Like, I created this project back in, let's see, when was this card made? So this card was made February of this year, and I need it now. And the reason why I need it is because we're focusing on immersion trainings. We're focusing on big trainings that have multiple categories. And so what's going to happen is we have a new type of goal that's called an action goal. And so with an action goal, what's going to happen is when you're going to choose, let's see, type of action goal. So you're going to choose the type of action goal. So it'll be, okay, they completed the lesson, or they made it halfway through the course, or they completed the whole course, or they logged in. Whatever we have for action goals, they're going to be right there. And so if somebody makes this halfway through your course, you're going to be able to give them like a new badge. As soon as they complete it halfway, we're going to have like this big splash screen that shows your badge and says, congratulations, you know, you just got the go-getter badge, and then there's a reward type to it, right? So this is all being developed out very, very soon, because I can see where with the immersion trainings, we're definitely going to need it, right? So we'll be looking for this new badge here pretty soon. That's going to come up. And then you can just kind of see everything that's slated for future development, right? Like nothing is, this right here, the login rotator, we still have to do this, right? So we're going to have it to where we're going to be featuring, I haven't figured out what we're going to base it on. I think we're going to base it on deal or no deal, that if you actually complete your course by the date that you set, providing you don't say, okay, I'm going to have my course completed in 6 months. I think it has to be like, if you plan on launching your course in 60 days or less, you set that date and you actually meet that date, then I think what we're going to go do is we're going to feature your course on the login page, right? So we started building this out. So the reason why I'm showing this is so number one, you see the power of Trello, but on top of that, I want you guys to see everything that's you know, in the pipeline for Everlesson, because it's kind of exciting to see you know, the direction that we're going here, right? Cool. Okay, so the focus for Everlesson right now, the big takeaway is we've been telling you guys that we don't really want you playing in Everlesson until you have your course built. So we've been focusing a lot on building your course. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to ask you guys, is my sister still on the call? I think she bailed. I think she had to go get her kids. We're going to move these Q&As as well so that my sister can jump in here and help with them as well. But right now she has to go pick up her kids, so it's not the right time. So let me ask this question. Do you guys have any questions on Everlesson, and I'll look at the questions right now. So if you have any questions on Everlesson, now is the time to ask. And if you have any questions on creating your course, because we have been covering a lot of things, guys. We've been covering a lot of things, okay? So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask, okay? And, you know, take it from somebody who doesn't like to speak up, doesn't like to ask questions. Just do it. Just do it, okay? Don't be shy. Just do it. I won't put you on the spot. Let's see. Let's see. A lot of compliments. This is your guys' call. I do this to make sure you guys have all your answers. We do this so that when the trials come in, they're very, very happy. They see that we care. They see where we're going. We want to make sure everybody gets their help so that when you guys are the ones that refer the trials, we make sure those trials stick and you're able to get a monthly commission. Does that make sense? So we're kind of turning this into a license program. Let's see, color-coded, absolutely fabulous platform. Will agency, okay, I already answered that question. Is there a multiple choice option for setting questions in Everlesson? Multiple choice, I'm not quite sure what you mean, Bernard. Are you talking about the quizzes? If you can kind of clarify what you mean by multiple choice option for Everlesson. Okay, a quiz. So if I come over here, if I come over to my settings, and I can't remember for sure if this is a pro feature or not, but if you come over here to quiz, then what you're able to do, and I'm going to change this a little bit, but if we come over here, I'm in the membership, so if I say, okay, I got Amazon Mastermind, and this is going to be the module, and so what I can do is I can come over here, I can say, who is Chad's favorite actor, right? And then I can say Arnold, or I can say Pacino, or I don't really know anybody else, De Niro, right? And then what's going to happen is we come over here and we're going to choose the answer, and then we can go ahead and set points if we want, and then we go ahead and save it, right? And then what happens is it creates this question base over here, right? So this is a quiz that happens at the end of the lesson. What's awesome is if you were to come over here and create like 100 questions, if they fail the quiz and you set it up how they want to retake it or whatever, if they fail the quiz, then when they go retake it, it's going to go choose different questions. It's not going to give them the same questions. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. We haven't really covered that a lot. Let me see. Dan Quinn, you have your hand up. Good. I like the fact that you guys are speaking up. So Dan has his and Mark has his hand. Okay, let's see. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good, Chad. How you doing?
Good, buddy. What's happening?
Good. Loving what you're doing there and enjoying Fort Collins. Hey, my question is, you know, I've been loading my membership into the system, but I'm going live next Wednesday with a webinar call. And my question is, I was thinking about giving access to one of the modules for free, and
okay,
enticing people to look at it, and then, you know, before I get them on the webinar. And I just wanted to ask you what your thoughts were about that. Kind of an enticement, they can see it, and then I'm launching at $290. The price will go up to like $750.
Mm-hmm.
But my idea was there's 8 modules, give them access to one for free. I'm not giving away the farm, but they can see a lot of great content and see the other 7 modules. So what do you think about that?
Great idea. Do you know how to do it?
Well, I'm not sure. So that was going to be my next question. You're a great straight man. What's the best way to do that?
So if this is your product right here, I'm going to open this up. Here's all your modules, and I'm going to go ahead and edit this module here. And I'm going to click on Free Preview. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'm going to visit this, and that's the link you're going to give them. And so then they're going to see all this. They're going to see your banners, they're going to see your news tickers. They're going to see everything. and they didn't have to opt in, they didn't have to buy anything, they didn't have to do anything.
Okay, great. But they're only going to see the one module.
Just the one module. That's it.
Cool. Well, that was easier than. That's great. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult. Perfect.
And it's actually like you know, nobody's actually used this. I'm going to use it as soon as trust me. So picture that this is a case study here. Okay, if this is a case study, I'm going to go ahead and give away a free case study. So I'm going to go out there on Facebook. I'm going to be like, hey, here's a case study on how to make, $100,000 on your Facebook group. Okay, so they're all going to watch this case study. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to activate this too. And so I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to give you 2 more videos that's going to show you, X, Y, Z. Okay? And then type in your email to get access. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose my package. And I'm going to set that up for like 20 seconds. So what happens is they're watching your video, and then, matter of fact, let me see if I can just go ahead and do this. I'm going to turn off the OTO for right now. So in 20 seconds, let's see if I've set this up right. So I'm going to say visit. So we're going to come over here. I don't know if I set it up right because that was kind of fast, but let's see what happens. Right. So they see this. You set your video for autoplay. And let's see, we're up to 4, 5. Watch what happens on 20 seconds.
Change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on a minute. I was scared of that. You never know what happens. So let me see. I got it for 20 seconds. Hold on. Activate free funnel. I did something wrong. So I got 20 seconds. Let me try this one. And let me make sure I haven't unlocked this. So what should have happened? Maybe it's because did I save it? Maybe I didn't save it. Let's try it again.
You saved it.
Yeah, save is kind of a big thing in this world. All right, let's try it. So we'll do 20 seconds.
The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard.
No.
No. Well, I get the idea. So it'd pop up with an offer.
Well, what'll happen? I've never seen it not do that. It's got to be something that maybe this package is off or something, because I've never seen it not do that. But what happens is this will fall over the top of your screen. They'll still hear the video. Close. Hold on. Somebody's saying close the other open Everlesson pages. Okay. Hold on a minute. Let me try one more time because I really want you to see this. So let's try it in like Firefox real quick, because I do have a lot of Everlesson tabs opened. So it could be something like that. So let me just see. But what will happen is they'll watch your video. They're like all pumped up about your case study or whatever you have, and then this live box falls over the top, covers the whole screen, but they can still hear the video. So it's what we call a pattern interrupt. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, I don't know. Scotty needs to beam me up. So let's see. Okay, so the video's going. Come on, baby.
The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship.
There we go. Boom.
Okay.
So they're still hearing the video, and so as soon as I enter my name and email, now I'm in your membership.
Yep.
So if I don't want it, I can make it go back up. So now that they've entered their name and email, they're in your membership and they're in your autoresponder. And guess what, guys? We also have Zapier in the works. So you'll be able to put them wherever you want to, right? So, but it gets even better than that, because now, so let's say that, so I'm in the process, you guys don't know this, but I'm in the process of creating a course that teaches people how to create a group and be very, very profitable like we've been able to do. And so it just makes sense for me to have a case study on why you want to have a Facebook group.
Right.
And then this here is going to be like 2 more videos on how to get set up with your Facebook group really fast or whatever. So now they're in the membership. And so inside the membership, we have banners for webinar signups. We got countdown timers. We got all this stuff going on, right? But it gets even better, because now I can come over here and I can also click on this one. And with this one, all we're going to do is type in our headline, and we're going to choose our package. So this could be my $497 offer for the actual Facebook group training. And then after they opt in, now they're going to get presented with a special deal.
Cool.
All that from a free preview. How's that for an answer?
That, Chad, you just made me think of something. I did a webinar like 6 weeks ago. You know, to a free webinar to be building my list and talking about, you know, this coming up. And I taught some modules on, I taught some pieces on that. What I could do instead of giving them access to one of the modules is I've cut that video training into pieces, and I've got some check sheets out of it. So I could just add that as a module, and it really is kind of a case study, and then give that to them for free. And then they'll see the rest of it, and I could follow your path here. I'm thinking that might be a better thing for me to do.
Yeah, I mean, and then you could wait till after the webinar. You know, here's what I do, guys. I put a survey out on most of my webinars. So if they haven't purchased, I'll say, hey guys, do me a favor, fill out the survey since you're still here, because nobody ever leaves a webinar. Fill out the survey, and when you do, I got a free gift for you, right? So our platform survey does all that too. So once they fill out that survey and they get their free gift and everything, what I'll do is I'll go back through the survey and I'll actually shoot a video and I'll show what everybody thought about the webinar, all the comments, everything. And so I have that in a video, and what you could do is you could take that video, put it in one of your lessons like this, use that as a free preview, and mail that out to everybody that either attended or didn't attend the webinar.
Oh, wow.
You see, there's lots of things you can do, but here's why it works.
Yeah, I'm writing it down. Okay.
Let me tell you why this thing works here really quick, guys. The reason why this works is because when people have case studies, when they have free videos or whatever they have, what do? Number one, you get sent to a lead capture page, or number two, you get sent to a sales page, or maybe YouTube. That's pretty much it. That's all that happens, or a bridge page where they have a video and a button down below with a headline. That's it. So the market's burned out with this. So when they click a link and all of a sudden they got access to this members-only membership, they start thinking, oh crap, number one, I'm seeing something I'm probably not supposed to see. Somehow I broke in the back end, or he gave me the wrong link or something else. But number two, it's a pattern interrupt, because you have countdown timers there. You have, you know, and I can show you what we're doing with this so you can see the real power of how this would actually look. I actually started setting this up with my free books down here. So if I come into this one, let me kind of show you what...
Are you there, Chad?
Yeah, can you still hear me?
Lose you? Crap.
Are you there? Can you guys hear me, yes or no? Okay, everybody can still hear me. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to still keep talking. If we lost him, I don't know where he went. Hold on. You still there, Mark?
Yeah, somehow I got muted.
Okay, that's okay. So these are ebooks that I've gone and written, and I've actually given you guys access to go out there and you know, rewrite these, use them for whatever you want to do. But if I open this up and if I show you what my free preview looks like, I don't think I clicked the right one. Let me try this one right here, and I'm trying all kinds of different things with it. We're pulling in survey. We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But this is kind of what it's going to look like. So you have a countdown timer up here. You got banners over here on the side, right? We got survey here where they're going to come over here and they're going to click and make an appointment. We got this big button right here that we put into Everlesson to download the guide. We got other modules down here that they can go and participate in. So you can kind of see how your free case study or whatever you're doing, that you can, they're going to click something.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're going to click something. And nobody's going to get mad at this if you're giving them free access. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
And
so
nobody has really gone out there and just used this whole strategy like it was intended for.
Well, I think I'll plan to be number one then.
Good. Keep us posted on your success, man.
I will. I will. Thanks, Chad. This is perfect. This is exactly what I needed. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Okay, let's see. I saw another hand up a minute ago. Let me see who that was. Tiger Bill. Let's see if you're around. What's up, Mr. Drum Man?
Hey, how you doing, Chad?
Good. How are you?
Real good, real good. Look, I got just a couple of quick ones about Everlesson, if I could.
Okay.
You know the little widget that's on the right side? The little Everlesson widget? I know we can change the actual URL on it, but do we have control over changing the physical graphic of the widget?
You know what? I started that. I mentioned it. I don't think we ever finished it. I don't think it's a hard thing. I'll get it done for you. What he's talking about, guys, is over here where it says powered by Everlesson. If it does, like mine might be turned off right here.
Yeah.
He wants to change this to his own graphic and then send it to like one of his own companies or whatever else. We'll get it done.
Cool. Yeah, Chad, the other one is about that VA sign-in. I was messing around with that again the other day. It doesn't look like there's a way I can change the password after it's been created. Like if I create a VA sign-in for someone and then create the password, I see nowhere I can access the password to change it. It looks like I have to delete the whole guy's login, and all the access I gave him would be deleted along with it, and then I have to recreate the whole thing just to change his password.
Let's see. I don't think I have an agency account right here. So it's like where you set up the VA or whatever?
Yeah, you set up the VA, and then you give the guy, you know, access of like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 or 20 or 40 of your, you know, of your things. Then if you want to change the guy's password, there's no way you can do it other than deleting his whole account, and then you're gonna lose all the stuff that he had access to. You know, then you're gonna have to recreate that.
Okay. Well, that's not a hard thing to do, so I'll get it done.
Yeah, I mean, all it needs to be is like just a change for the password, but there's nowhere even to look at the password to see it at the moment.
Okay, and honestly, I haven't done a lot with the agency accounts or anything, but I'll definitely take a look at it, and we can get it changed. That's not a big deal.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. Is that it?
Yeah, you're doing a great job. I just gotta tell you, man, this is like, I mean, this is so much more than I expected, you know, a year ago or more when I jumped on board. Fantastic, man. Keep it up. It's great.
Have you been tuning in the past couple of weeks with what we're doing with the product creation and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Is it making sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm loving that auto webinar, man. It's great. It's going to be great.
Cool. Cool. All right, Bill. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks again, man. Take care.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see if there's any other hands. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's Dan Quinn. Dan, I haven't heard from you forever, man. What's up? You there? Dan. Okay, we'll come back to him. His hand is up, though. Is there anybody else? Let's see, Danny Fortes. I don't see your hand, Danny. I'm looking for you, buddy. Let's try you. Danny? You there? We hear you, Danny, but you're not saying nothing.
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh.
What's up, buddy?
My bad. When I heard Dan, I was actually on my way out the door.
Oh, okay.
But then when I heard you saying Dan, and I was like, I thought you were talking to me, but you were talking to somebody else, so my bad.
Yeah, so you're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. All right, nothing to add? Nothing you want to add? You're good with everything?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just watching that strategy, and I was I didn't realize it did some of those extra things there, so I'm going to catch the replay as well. I was literally on my way out the door, but I was popping on for a quick few minutes that I had. So
appreciate you being here, bud.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. Dan says speaker not working. Chad, bad connection. Okay, that's cool. So look, guys, everybody says, and I'm going to come back over to you, Ray, here in just a minute. Everybody says that, you know, I'm such a brilliant marketer and everything else. You want to know the truth? Here's the truth. This is absolutely what I think, right? I think we are not very good. Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. There's so many things inside of Everlesson that we've never even gone out there and marketed. Nobody knows about the free preview strategy. Nobody knows about the free product sequence, the paid product sequence. I was on a call with Ron Douglas this morning. He was inquiring about Everlesson. He's been tuning into the group and been seeing everything we've been doing. He's just like, dude, I'm blown away. Let's get on a call. What can we do? And I talked to him about the free product sequence and the paid product sequence, and he kind of just went, huh. You don't say. And like nobody knows it's there, nobody's using it. It's like one day I'm just going to take like 2 weeks off and just go and completely use Everlesson for exactly what it was built for. All right, let's see. Jeff says, can you briefly discuss the relationship overview of the autoresponder, free and paid product sequence, drip feed, emails, email settings? It's a bit confusing. All right. So let's start with this. If I come over here to the autoresponder, and the autoresponder is changing quite a bit. If I come over here and if I choose my membership, so let me just choose a demo one really quick. So if I choose my membership, and if I create a list, so I'll just create this list. I'll just call it new leads, right? And I'll just say these are new leads coming in or whatever, okay? So I've gone and created a list, okay? So here's the list. Now, what I can do, I can do a couple things. This was at Gus Sevilla's request. Okay, Gus is my Spanish partner. Love the guy, one of my favorite people in the world. He says to me, he goes, Chad, I want to be able to create a page in your system and have it just tie to a list. Because what we started doing was we started creating these pages here. Okay, so like we have all these pages here. And let me just come over here to one that's already here. And what we had set up is, number one, there's no autoresponder code for you to mess with because all you're going to do is choose your package, right? So you come over here and you're going to choose your package, and then your package is tied to your autoresponder. And that's all you need to do. So when you put this page out in the world and somebody opts in, number one, they're going to be put in your autoresponder. Number two, they're going to be put inside your membership, and then they're going to get an email with whatever you're advertising here on this page. Okay, so we showed that to Gus during the ClickBank launch, and he goes, I don't understand. Like, all I want to do is put this page out there and then put them in a list, right? So now you come over here, and you're able to choose your list. I'm not in the right membership, but I can choose a list, and basically, I can just go through there and I can queue all these members inside this list, and then I can go and I can basically broadcast all these members and everything else. Now what we're doing, and we're in the process of doing this right now for the whole webinar sequence thing, is we're now in the process where when you create a list, you're also, I don't know if I did something wrong, but you're also going to go and you're going to create follow-ups for your list. So now when you create a membership, you're going to say, okay, anybody that comes in this membership is going to be put in this list, and once they're in that list, now they got follow-ups going out. And so, of course, you guys know that we're going to try to do everything for you. We're going to have a set of sequences ready to be all set up, right? Where you know, we're pulling in things from your course or whatever and giving them their access details, and you know, you can pull in your survey, ask them what they think of the course. You know, we can ask them to rate your course. There's a lot of things we can do, and we can even recommend other products that you have inside that sequence. Like, we can do a lot of this for you, and then of course you have the ability to go and override what we're doing. So right now, we don't have it, but we're currently in the process where once you create the list, you're then going to go and create follow-ups for your list. Now, the reason why this came up is because in the webinar sequence, okay, so if I come over here to the webinar sequence, you'll see that once you create a product via the wizard or via inside of here, you're going to go choose your funnel set for your webinar. You're also going to choose a sales page set. You're also going to choose a free sign-up set. You're going to have 3 different sets that you can choose from. So you'll choose your set. Then you'll come over to your setup, you'll answer some basic questions, and then you'll have your pages all created based on the funnel set that you set up. Since we know what your webinar sign-up page is, and we know what your webinar replay page is, and we know what your order form is and everything else, you're going to come over here, and I'm already going to have these canned emails all set up, ready to go, and as soon as you click a button, they're going to be queued inside your autoresponder, and they're tied to that list. And the reason why we're doing that is so once you run your webinar, and we're going to tell you, okay, so when you ran this webinar live, you earned $67 per attendee. When you ran it as a replay, you earned $97 as an attendee. You're going to look at that and you're going to say, okay, you know what, I can do better. So I'm going to go run another live webinar. So you'll basically run the whole entire process all over again. But once you get it to where it's good, we're going to have it to where you're going to click a button up here, and it's going to take all your settings, and it's going to say, okay, set up a schedule for your auto webinar, and then we're going to pull all of this into an auto webinar sequence that you can just run consistently over and over and over, and it'll track all your statistics and everything else. So part of the way that we're going to make that whole thing happen is we have to have it to where you can create a list for your course, for your webinar. We have follow-ups there so that once you choose your list, right, so you'll come over here, you'll choose the list that you want to tie to this webinar, and then we have your follow-ups here. You're going to make minor changes to it. You're going to click a button, and those follow-ups are going to be loaded inside that list. Is that making sense to you guys? I want to make sure that makes sense. What's so unique about this, and I can't figure out why ClickFunnels or anybody else didn't figure this out, is if we're setting up your funnel for you, and if you tell us when your webinar starts, when the offer closes, and if you give us your replay link when it's all done, guess what? I can not only build all these pages for you and put down the countdown timers and link your buttons and have your replay video there and pull in your secrets and everything else, but on top of that, since I've been able to do all that, I can come over here to your email series, and I've already put the links in there for you and your replay pages, and I automatically know how much time is left. I know everything about this because I'm the one setting it up for you, and you'll just come in here and make minor changes, click a button, and it's all queued up. Is that starting to help you? Are you guys starting to understand why it was very, very important that we had an autoresponder? Are you guys starting to see that? And so the statistics, we're going to be able to tell you everything. We're going to be able to tell you how many opt-ins you got, how many sign-ups you got, how many people. The only thing that we don't know is when you run a live webinar, how many people showed up. And so I think I made this in the group, but let me just see if I can come over here and I can find this, because I think this will kind of connect all the dots for you. Because once you tell us, that's the only piece of data that we're missing. We have no idea how many people actually signed up for your webinar. Because once we know that, it's game over with the information that we can provide. So let me see if I can kind of show you here. I laid it out, and we're currently in the process of building this too. Not only do we have all your statistics for your whole entire funnel, and once we have that information, let me see if this is it right here. Let's see, auto webinar, so you guys can kind of see how this whole thing works. Let me see if I can find the statistics. Here it is right here. Okay, let me open this up. It's going to open up in Photoshop. That's where everything starts. That's kind of where my brainstorming starts and everything else. So you're going to see kind of a rough idea. It'll look better inside the interface, but this just gets the conversation going, guys, with the developer and everything. Not only will you see all your statistics for your whole funnel, for your replay funnel, for everything, but we're also going to tell you how you're doing with your emails, right? And then that's just a start, because I think I'm going to be able to even drill down even further, and I think I'm going to be able to like track that person and figure out exactly what email got them on the webinar. Like, I think there's a lot of things we can do. I just got to get started with the base. And you guys have been seeing that the whole time with Everlesson, right? So once we get started with the base, then we'll be able to get really, really detailed with the statistics. And so let me see if I can bring this over. Photoshop's kind of slow right now, but it's open. So here we go. So if I come over here and if I view this, you guys might have seen this in the group. So this is the information you're going to have after you run your webinar. So all we need you to do is come over here and tell us, you're going to click this here, and you're going to tell us how many people were actually on your webinar. Once we have that information, we're going to know all of this information up here. We're going to know how many people you had per attendee. We're going to know how many people you had per attendee for the replay, right? But on top of that, if you look at these boxes here, since it's our own autoresponder, we're also going to be able to tell how your emails are doing. Does that make sense? So you're going to have everything all in one platform. Okay? And so if you look down here, you'll also have your replay stats. Now, we won't need you. I don't know what I was thinking here. I don't really need you to tell me how many people are there because we're going to be able to track that, right? And so we'll be able to track all your email replays too. So we're going to give you, if you already have a list, we're going to give you a list of pre-emails that you can send out to your list that all the links are there, they're linked to your registration page, everything else, you're just going to go make minor changes and then copy them in your autoresponder, okay? There's no reason why we would do that inside of Everlesson because it's your list. Once you build up your list in Everlesson, then you can do it. On top of that, we're going to also give you what's called an indoctrination series, which means when somebody signs up for your webinar, and it's kind of what we were talking about with Dan here, or I can't remember who we just talked to. When somebody enters their details here, we're also going to have another email series that sends out to them before the webinar starts to make sure they get on this webinar. Okay? And so that'll be inside of Everlesson, all queued. You'll make minor changes to it. I'll do everything I can for you guys. You'll just make minor changes to it. And then the third series is after the webinar is done, you're just simply going to give us your replay URL on YouTube or Wistia or S3 or whatever else, and we're going to go place that in the replay page with the countdown timers, with a button to your order form and everything, and then you're going to have a replay series that's all queued up, ready to go out inside of Everlesson. Okay? So, Jeff, does that kind of take care of the email part? Do you kind of understand the autoresponder part? That's kind of like the hardest part. Okay, now look. For the free and paid product sequence, let me see if I can simplify this, because it's really not a complicated process. Let me just first kind of explain it in layman's terms, and then I'll show you kind of how you're going to set it up. And you can actually do this from the wizard now, too. So, if you go create a course, and it's free, you're going to turn on a button. Once you turn on that button, here's the information we know. We know what the login URL is. We know, and so what we're going to do is, if you turn this button on, then what's going to happen is it's going to be queued. And so you're going to set the criteria. I know, Bob, we're going to go over an hour. Don't worry about it. You're going to set the criteria for who is going to get this notification. So you're going to say, okay, everybody that went and purchased the high ticket masterclass, I want them to get this course. Now, obviously, you know that if you put this course in the same membership as a high ticket masterclass, that you can just set this to public access. But now it's kind of up to them to go log in and see that they have it as public access. And we're going to have it to where when you set something as public access, we're going to have a little switch there where it'll send out an email notification saying, hey, we just went and added this, right? So we have that coming too. But right now, just understand that if that switch is on, you have your criteria. So everybody that went and purchased a high ticket masterclass or whatever, they're going to get an email. And we have these templates that says, hey, congratulations, you know what, I'm in a great mood today. So I just went and created this amazing course that's going to teach you how to create Facebook ads. And all you have to do, it's already been added to your account. And so the login URL, the username, and the password is all down below. And so what happens is this email, let's call it an email, it's going to get queued up. Does that make sense? It gets memorized. So if anybody else comes in the future, if that's the criteria you have set up, and by the way, your criteria can be all products, it can be based on tags, it can be based on whatever. If anybody else comes in, if the criteria is anybody purchases a high-ticket masterclass, they will also get access to this as well once the queue hits that point. Does that make sense, Jeff? I want to make sure you get that. Okay, good. All right, so look, that's free. Now, if we come over here, and if we create a course, and it's paid, okay, now it's a different story. Even though we know this, we're not going to give them this until they pay. So what happens is when you create your course, we're asking for 2 bits of information if you do a paid package. Number 1, we're asking for a perceived value. So your perceived value might be $97, and then we're asking for your sales price. And so your sales price might be $27. So now what happens is, if you flip this switch once you create the course, it's just a simple switch, we have an email ready to go out that says, hey, guess what? I just went and created a course that's going to teach you how to create videos successfully and go out there and rank on YouTube. Normally I sell this for $97, but today you can pick it up for $27. And then what we're going to do is we're going to include the link inside that email for you. Now, over here in the settings, you'll see the area where all this happens, and we actually tell you, look, you're selling 75% of the time, and you're only giving away 25% of the time. And instead, we want you giving away 75% of the time, and we want you selling 25% of the time. And so what you're able to do is you're able to go and basically turn stuff off that you're selling, and that means, okay, I'm either going to leave it off, or I'm going to add more free stuff, so that you're building the rapport, establishing the trust first by giving away free stuff, and then when something's set up to sell, you're getting the sell. Does that help? Does that make sense? So this is all based on a package. So if I come over here to the package, and let me just see if I can find one that I've done, and if I come over here, you'll see that we have this thing here called sequencing. And so what I can do is I can turn this on or off, okay? So as soon as I create this package, if I turn it on, then what happens is it's going to add it to the sequence queue. I'll show you that here in a minute, right? Now, what I can do is if I flip this on, I think I have this backwards. So, okay, no, wait. If I turn this on, yeah, okay. So if I want to use specific criteria for this one product, then I can come over here and I can choose the products, I can choose the tags, or I can choose categories. I can say, okay, everybody that purchased the Amazon Mastermind, I also want them to receive this one package. And so what happens is I go and I save it, and it's going to add it to the queue. So you can choose multiple things. You can say, okay, this one product, plus the people that have this tag, plus the people that are in this category, okay? I want to queue them all up. Or, what's even easier, guys, is to come over here and give me a second to find it. You'll come over here to your default settings, okay? So let's see, auto sequences, okay? Here's where your shuffleboard is. But if I come over here, and I have a hard time remembering where it is because I'm not in here very much doing this, but if I come over here to product sequence, what I can do is I can set up my default settings, right? So I can say send this to all members in the system, and I can just go ahead and set this up as default. So every single time I create a product, I can just say, okay, here's my default settings. Just use my default settings. And then what happens is it comes over here and it queues it. So you can see that the high ticket masterclass, which is added on 8/2/17, is queued up, right? Now I don't have it actually going out to any members yet or anything, but as you can see, paid course, paid course, paid course, paid course. And so our conversion summary over here shows that, because this will become a big monster queue, guys. You can queue this up for 2 years once you get good at this. And so any member that comes in, guess what? You have a kick-ass autoresponder, because this here is giving stuff away and it's selling stuff. And so what you want to have is you want to have like 60-40. That's what we want you to do, right? So your email follow-up series is not set up to produce optimum results. Kindly reconsider this sequence to gain better results. You want to have a 60-40 equation, right? So I don't have any free packages in here. This is really, really bad. But what it'll do, guys, it'll come over here, and it'll track your sales from your sequence. It'll do everything for you. Okay? Is this all starting to make sense to you? And once again, nobody's using this. I haven't had time to use it yet. I'm trying to use it. It's just I spend all day trying to build all this stuff out all the time. All right? So that takes care of free product sequence and paid product sequence. Yes or no? Is everybody crystal clear on the free product sequence and the paid product sequence? And so if you come over here to email settings, and I got to go add more paid ones, here's what happens. So here's all your default email settings for your free product sequence. So you can come over here and rewrite all of these emails, and then what happens is we're going to go randomly just pull one of these into your free sequence, right? So you can change these up however you want, make them personal, whatever. Same thing with the paid product sequence, right? Right now I just have the one, but you can change this up, and then it's going to pull this in. So I'm going to have like 20 different emails here for you guys, and it just automatically goes and it pulls it in. Now, even though it's gone and pulled this in, guess what, guys? At any time, I can even come over here and I can overwrite what it's pulled in. Is this making sense? So it's like the most amazing follow-up email sequence you've ever seen, because it's handling everything for you and it's tracking your sales for you and it's doing everything. And so when I say that we've done a horrible job selling this system, well, we have. We've done a horrible job selling this system. And so you can come over here, you can say, okay, I want an email sent out once every single day or every 2 days or whatever it is, right? This right here will make sales for you. They're going to love you, and it's going to make sales at the same time. Nobody's using it because Chad has failed to go out there and market this, right? So your final question is the drip feed. So if I have my lessons over here, if you do the drip feed from the wizard, guys, we just have a basic how many days apart do you want to drip feed your content. So what you can do is you can come over here and click on drip feed, and you can say, okay, so when this lesson is completed and 2 days have passed, then it's going to open up the next lesson underneath. That's it. So this here will not open up until 2 days have passed. And then we get all crazy here because you could say, okay, 2 days have passed and they've had to have, if my first lesson had 5 points, okay, they had to have had 5 points. Or if my first lesson issued them a badge, then you have to have the badge, right? So you can do and or statements before. So this is the mastermind, right? So we can go ahead and choose that page. And then once that page is done, then the next lesson will open up. Or you can have it to where if I had quizzes, you could say, okay, when they complete this quiz and 2 days have passed or no days have passed, it's an and or statement. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay? I think I answered all your guys' questions. We're good? What do you guys think? Anybody have any comments? Anything to leave with? Cool. Very, very powerful stuff, guys. I guarantee that Everlesson does, you guys only know about 20% of what Everlesson does. It's unbelievable what Everlesson will do for you. It's something that you guys will never find in another system. You just won't. Like, it was completely out of the box thinking that I'm like, man, wouldn't it just be great? You know, our members are getting really good at creating courses. They're getting good at, you know, creating free courses, paid courses, whatever, but they're horrible at selling. That was the big obstacle. So we said, okay, well, let's have it to where we create the sales page for them. All right. Well, now that we've created the sales page, guess what? They have a sales page, but they're horrible at letting their members know or letting their list know that, you know, this offer's for sale. Okay, well, let's just mail for them. You see what I'm saying? People are great at going out there and creating a course, but then they're horrible at going and setting up the webinar funnel. Okay, well, let's take the information that we have and let's go set up the webinar funnel for them. Okay, well, now that they have a webinar funnel, they're horrible at sending out emails for replays, and we are too, guys. We never send out replays. You guys never see them, right? Well, with this system, we're going to be forced to send out replays, and you'll make double the profit from your replays. You see, that's kind of been the philosophy of Everlesson the whole time. We're not going to count on you guys to do it. Instead, we're going to force success down your throat. Let's see. Please answer me, Chad. First time I've seen your question, Renee. Do you think I don't need to create a new site with WordPress with a blog? Do you think all what I need is Everlesson? No, no. A blog is something completely different. Matter of fact, I'm in the process of redoing my blog right now. So look, if you create a course inside of Everlesson, right? And if you're writing blog posts consistently, which I stopped because we're in the process of redoing this, why not have a banner? So look, you're out there saying, okay, Facebook groups are your greatest marketing asset. We're posting this on Facebook. We're getting rankings in the search engines and everything else. Why not have a banner over here? When they click the banner, it takes them to your sales page, and once they buy, they get access to your course. Do you understand? A blog is a traffic generation strategy. Of course you need a blog. We're not to the point where Everlesson does a blog for you yet. Someday we will, but I don't see that being a high priority right now. But I'll tell you what, the minute that that does become a high priority, then I'm going to have it to where your countdown timers and everything are in your blog. They're tied to Everlesson. You know, we have widgets over here that are automatically pulled in from Everlesson and recommended courses, and you'll be able to pull in your Everlesson links into the content and everything else. Yes, that'll happen in the future, but right now it's not really important because you can make a blog work just fine with what's out there and combining Everlesson as well as Survey if you want to. But yeah, in the near future, sure, we'll do it. Cool? All right, guys, any last comments before we conclude this webinar? Any last comments? If you showed up late, we'll see if we can do an encore tonight. We'll do it live in the group, but I just want to make sure that. And let me come over here to the Facebook group, guys. If you would just please help me out with this, like this helps out so much. Let me just ask you, what was your takeaway? Because I really want to get everybody on these calls, like because they're so valuable, and I'm really trying not to waste your guys' time. I'm trying not to share a lot of stories, not give you a lot of fluff and hype. Like your guys' time is valuable, my time's valuable. I have to have this course done before I get to Vegas this weekend, so you can see how far I am. Like I got a ways to go, but I'm going to get it done, and I got my kids this weekend, so my time's very valuable too. But I want to make sure that you guys are getting all your answers, right? So if you would please just come over here and comment on what was your takeaway here. I'd really, really appreciate it because there's 7,000 members that are seeing these notifications, and they say, hey, you know what? I'm going to jump in and I'm going to start watching these Q&As. Cool. All right. So yes, please come over here, do that. And next week, there will not be a Q&A because we will be in Vegas, but the following week, we will have a new time. Let me just see if... hey, Heather, do you have a mic? Let me just bring my sister on really quick, see if she has anything to add. I don't know if she has a mic or not. I know she's on her phone. Let me just see if she has a mic. She might...
I just checked and it's not... No, she's unmuted now.
I got it, Bob.
Got it.
Hey, what's up? You there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we're getting ready to conclude.
Not a whole lot. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
Okay. So yes, okay. 1 o'clock 1 o'clock Mountain Time.
So that's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add before we conclude?
Nope. Sorry, I have a little bit of a delay, but that's it. That was a good session.
Cool. All right, guys, there you go. On that note, remember, we're not going to be doing a Q&A next week, but we'll do it on the following week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll definitely change that. And we'll remind you guys, thank you so much. Keep us posted with your result. Get out there and crush it. Talk to you soon.